Brujas, and welcome back to my channel. I am here today with a video that actually has been asked for quite a while in the past, and I promised it a while ago, so I figured I would jump right into it. And it is a flip through of my Grimoire slash Book of Shadows. I do call it my Grimoire, but after looking into the difference between the two, I realized that a grimoire is a more by the book, general, spell book made for everyone, whereas a Book of Shadows is a more custom book that you make yourself. So I definitely feel like this is a Book of Shadows, but I will call it my Grim, so just beware throughout the video if I interchange the two. It's the same thing. So before I jump into this one, which is the one that's full of stuff, I did want to show you guys these other two books. So these are all going to be my Books of Shadows. They're all going to be for different things. This one's like for tarot and astrology because that's just what I've been filling it with. This one's going to be for herbs. Sorry, the mail came. So this one's going to be used for crystals and herbs. And this one, like I said, was astrology and tarot. This one I also started writing in. It was just notes on different African studies I was reading. So I just took some notes, and as you could see, added old tarot cards to it because I don't use them, and I figured that'd be a really cool way to preserve them in, without keeping them on the shelf. So all of the notes that are in here are from this book. So I will do a whole video for each of these at a later time, but because for the most part they're empty. But this one, as you can tell, it looks a little raggedy. It's pretty full. So this is the one I use on a regular basis. So this is the one that we're going to flip through today. I will, just as a disclaimer, I will not go through everything in here because some of the stuff is personal and private. So if I skip out certain parts, or if you see me not mention certain pages, that is the reason. And I'm not sure yet. There might be pages that I blur out in editing. So just know that that is the reason why. I'm not being secretive. I just, certain things in here I keep to myself. So jumping right into it, the first pages here are all about tarot. So I started with the major arcana. In these little pouches here, I've just like jumped deeper into what I have for the cards. Obviously they're not all done, but this is just an example for the Magician, because as I go through, you'll see I have the Fool, like I have all of them. I have not finished the major arcana. I have notes everywhere, so it's really just me compiling everything into this one book. So that is really my challenge right now, but I wanted to mention what was in these little pockets here. So basically what I've been doing is every day when I pick a card, I take some paper and I just write more about the card that I pulled than what I already have written in my book. So as you can see, I still have plenty of blank pages to fill in for the major arcana. And then I jumped into the minor arcana. I started with Pentacles just because, like I said, I'm transferring notes. So I did the same thing here that I did in the other Grim that I showed you. I used some old tarot cards. This is actually my first deck I ever had, like when I was like 14. I put it in here, and there's just a little bit of details about the suit, like the elements and the associated signs that go with it. And then it's just numbered 1 through 10, and then the page through King, and it's like that for the Wands, the Swords, the Cups. You guys get the gist. And then just a detailed page about the minor arcana. And then I have like yes or no answers. I have more detailed notes that are going to be transferred in, This was kind of a random page because I started with some spreads. This was like months ago, and then decided to just fill in the space here with tarot symbols because I had just learned all of these at the time. And then I still have some blank pages. I guess I'm planning on putting some spreads here. My goal right now is to finish this Grim by the end of the year. So I will be doing a completed flip through by the end of the year as well. So this is just kind of showing where I'm at. So I also have the astrology and their tarot correspondences. As you can see, like the Libra and their card is the Justice, obviously, Libra. And then it just goes into deeper detail about tarot and astrology. I have it for each of the signs and what planet they're ruled by. And then this is like one of my favorite pages. It has the major planets and what they rule and what they determine and say about you, and the positions in the signs. And this is also like my planet positions. And then I also have the moon phases and what they're good for. It's a 2-page, it's like a flip up. And then I have the moon card from that same tarot deck. I did the August astrological calendar. I'm going to put the December. I haven't been putting it in, but now that I have a printer, I'm just gonna print out the one that I put on the blog and just add it in. I'll probably put it on this page so that it can fit, and I'll probably do a flip up. This is just my numerology chart, so I'm not gonna get into too much detail here. And then it's just like a lot of blank pages because, like I said, it's empty. But in the back, I did do, this is where I write my readings that I do. Not all the time, but most of the time. And I do have another pouch somewhere. This is not supposed to be in here. But yeah, so I will actually show you because this is something cool that I keep in my Grim. So these little cards that I have are actually readings that I've done for myself. They're on the inside. So as you can see, it says full moon. And I'm not sure what this one is for, but I keep them in this little pouch. Sometimes, like, these are the readings I like to keep to myself. And the thing I keep to kind of like charge my grimoire, which I think is cool, is this is the Fool card from my first deck. So I thought it would be cool to have the first card, even though the Fool is 0, like the first card from my first deck in my first Grim. And then when I first started reading tarot, my grandmother gave me her notes. So I took out the page for the Fool, because I feel like this like accurately represents how my grandmother looks at me, because her definition for the Fool is could be a person or type of person, divinatory, eager to learn, likes to be free, moves, never wants to be tied down, always has an experience going on, flexibility, new ideas, concepts, a dreamer. So I feel like that's kind of how my grandma looks at me, so that's why I chose this. And it also just has the reverse. So I keep this like this, tucked in here. And it was in that pouch with the readings, but it actually goes in the back here. So yeah, basically it's not a lot going on here. I actually felt like I had a lot more personal stuff, but it's because it's all in the notes that needs to be transferred. I also have my numerology chart, at least I started it, with my personality number, birthday number, soul urge number, expression number, life number. This was just something that I learned when I was in New York a while ago, and I just wrote it all down. That is the beauty of a grimoire, that you just write as you learn. So just expect to have a whole bunch of them. I call this volume 1 because it's basically everything that I've learned in the early parts of this year, continuing through this year. So like I said, I want to finish it this year and at least start the other 2, because I just want to get all my notes organized before the new year, so that when I want to do a spell or look up a card or just look up anything, it's just easier to grab than having to go through all of my papers. So I'm actually going to be writing in this a lot this week, and tomorrow we're actually gonna go shopping at the craft store so that I can pick up some more scrapbooking paper and things like that. And then I'll show you like an example of how I set up my grimoire pages, like how I'm transferring my notes, and we can do that. And I'll talk more about like grimoires and stuff like that, so you guys can get an idea of how to start your own. So just look forward to that video tomorrow. I know I've been promising this video for a while, but yeah, this is my book of shadows so far. I think it's pretty cute. I wanted to make it like a scrapbook because I love scrapbooking, so my grimoire is like a scrapbook and a book of shadows like combined. So I can't wait to finish it. It's so thick. I have a band to go around it so that it stays. And yeah, so make sure you come back tomorrow so you can see all of the tape and stuff I get to decorate the rest of these pages. I'm definitely going to get some scrapbooking paper and stuff like that. So we're going to probably go to Joann's or AC Moore. So we'll do a little shop along video tomorrow, and we'll do like a haul and then a little mini brief of me. So thank you, Brujas, for watching this video, and be sure to come back tomorrow for day 5 of Vlogmas.